Greetings and welcome to Sanctuary. Today we're talking about the Druid class and its early leveling. We all know it's kind of rough, so I decided to do this video because in the server slam I tested this very build and it worked pretty awesome. It doesn't require any legendaries and it's making your journey in the beginning much easier. And on top of that, it's a fun build in my opinion. Now, as you can see, I don't have any legendaries here. These are the skills I'm going to use. I'm going to explain to you why I'm using them in a second. The only thing that I place here in the build is a skull because it reduces the damage you take. This is a flat armor. I highly recommend at the beginning of the game to take it. Now, when it comes to the skills, it is a ranged build. It relies on generating power with wind shear, then basically getting this power spent by using lightning storm. We have the bulwark for defensive skill. We have the wolves as a primary way to deal with bosses. I'm going to explain to you how in a second. We have the poison creeper and we have the boulder. The poison creeper and the boulder are the skills that make sure that you keep the distance between you and your enemies, and on top of everything, those two skills deals pretty good damage, so definitely you're going to love it. Now, I'm going to explain the skill tree in details. First thing first, wind shear. It's a decent skill. It doesn't deal a lot of damage, however it makes the enemies vulnerable and it gives you additional spirit. So this is a way you acquire spirit with this build. If you're constantly spirit hungry after using lightning storm, I wouldn't recommend putting points here, but if you're, let's say, efficient in spending your spirit, then definitely go for abundance and go for wild impulses at the same time. I have lightning storm, once again your primary way of dealing damage, and I chose raging lightning storm, but if you choose primal lightning storm, that's going to be perfectly fine as well. When it comes to defensive skill, bulwark, it's a no-brainer. It is probably the best defensive skill of Druid. It makes sure you have a barrier. It fortifies you, and on top of everything, guys, on top of everything, it makes you unstoppable. And having unstoppable in your build is one of the, if not the most important thing for any build in Diablo 4. Because from my experience in the game, in the worst situations when you eventually get killed in this game, it's not because you take a lot of damage and stuff like this, but because you get stunned and you get frozen, so those effects get chained on you until you die. So having a way to become unstoppable and break free is extremely important. Also, we have the wolves. That's the primary way for you fighting bosses. How this thing happen, you need to make sure the boss is on the wolves, and if this is the case, then you just snipe him with wind shear and a lightning storm. So the wolves, one of the easier mechanics to kill bosses as a druid. Now, we also have the nature reach. It's self-explanatory. You are a ranged druid, you want to keep yourself away from your enemies, so definitely go for nature reach. And once again, you have two ways of keeping your enemies away from you. The first one is the poison creeper. It deals extremely good damage. It increases the critical hit chance and it immobilizes your enemies. So in a way, poison creeper is a very great let's say tool for you to make sure that you do damage, but at the same time to make sure that you keep your distance, because once again, remember, you are a ranged druid. Also, the last skill from the build is boulder. Boulder is an extremely underrated skill. For one thing, it has very low cooldown, deals pretty nasty damage, and it has good utility, especially in dungeons. I find it very good in dungeons. So not only it deals nice damage, but again, that's a second tool that you have at your disposal that makes sure that the distance between you and your enemies is kept pretty nice for you, because once again, you are a ranged druid. You have to strike them from distance. So in a way, this build is very nasty. I'm not saying it's the best way to go endgame. I'm just saying for the very first 20 to 30 levels, you can adopt this build and definitely you won't regret. And from here on, you can decide later that you want to go pulverize or you want to go, again, lightning druid. It's totally up to you. I'm just showcasing this so that you can know that this thing exists. It actually works and it's quite fun. So basically this is it. Please let me know whether you tested this build and it actually worked for you. And if you like the content, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and see you next time. Take care, guys.
Perfect.